call the meeting of the Harwich Cemetery Commission to order at 9 o'clock on February 1st.
Where did January go?
I don't know. It went by really quick. Really, really quick. Had some correspondences.
So I emailed Shayla Delaney, and she is in the planning department, about naming the Veterans Memorial Drive. I attended their meeting on January 23rd, and it was unanimously approved.
And that just goes up to the rotary. Does it go all the way to the other cemetery?
It goes all the way to the end right here. So it'll be, this whole thing is the drive. As soon as it goes into the old section, it's Peace Ave. So this is Peace Ave, and these are
And it's Veterans Memorial
Drive.
Very cool. Nice.
That's cool.
So how does Google find out about this?
Steve will put it in.
Steve.
The guy who does our website. The guy who does the Evergreen website. He put in all the street names before, just for GPS coordinates.
Oh, then he'll pin that.
Then they'll pin it. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, that's what Caleb and I were discussing, because some of the pins,
Yeah.
I've been sending all these suggestions to Google saying this is wrong, it's
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
with the coordinates. And then yesterday I asked them to remove Howard Center Cemetery,
Yeah.
which is supposed to be Harwich Center Cemetery,
Yeah.
aka Congregational.
Yeah.
And they still haven't done it, but when I had the map open,
Yeah.
I'm like, Kelly Cemetery was near Stage Harbor, Chatham.
Oh.
You click on it and it says Kelly Street.
Harwich.
And I go, well, that's not even the right address.
Well, it used to be called Kelly Street.
Right.
And then
but
Old Main Street.
Well, this is,
Yeah.
we can table this for a second
Yeah.
because when we get to new business,
Yeah.
we have cemetery names coming up.
Yeah.
Senior work off for the cemetery office?
Yeah, so every year for the last 2 years, we get to request that we have a senior work-off person. She comes once a week, and she works in the morning from like 9 to 12. And she'll do 100 hours throughout the year. So Marla has been working with me, and she has been checking more evidence for the Veterans Memorial soldiers.
Okay.
So what she's doing is I gave her the history of Howard. She's looking up all the different times a person was entered into service that's in there, and just cross-referencing that we did not forget anyone. She found so far 10 soldiers that I didn't have, so now I have to track down those ones.
Very cool.
So it's kind of, she loves it, so I just want to let you guys know that's happening.
That you're getting some help.
Yeah, just good.
So she's the only one you're going to have?
Well, I did, when we get to the budget stuff, we'll talk about.
Very good.
An email from Emily Mitchell.
So Emily emailed us, I guess everyone is up to date, you'll see, with their full training, but they just have to do that smaller little training Rob has already completed. How long was that?
There was no training. And
Okay.
I actually wrote Emily, I sent her that,
Yeah,
my certificate, and I showed her a screenshot of the response. And it said, training needed, and then it showed training accomplished. And I did no training. I
Okay.
just checked that the date was correct, whatever they asked me to do. And next thing I know, here comes the certificate. You completed your
right.
2024. I was like,
Well, it's good for
okay.
2 years. I think they just want you checking.
Well, I know, but it was, and
Should be doing
Emily
something
can't
else.
change it.
Right.
But
So
I just
where do you
want,
go to get to that?
in the email that you should have gotten from.
I can resend it if you want me to.
Yeah,
probably
from
have it.
Emily. I probably have that.
Okay.
But anyway, so that's, it was just, I wrote her back and I said, this verbiage is kind of strange.
So just gotta click on it, say you took the test, and it prints it out. Huh?
Well, it's not even a test. It's just, you're just,
Acknowledge it.
yeah, click to do the training and there was no training.
Yeah.
There were 2 things that you click and agree to or something, and next thing you know, you get a certificate and You have to download your certificate, and I just laughed.
That whole
and
thing's
said,
exhausting, so.
yeah. Well, you know, and I get why they have to do it, because every other week in the news, there's something comes up and you go, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody,
But people with a conscience or people that have some scruples, they're not gonna do this.
they're not gonna be congressmen. But that's a story for another
Or
day.
the son of a president.
Yeah. Okay. So, Veterans Memorial
We
Circle.
don't wanna go down that road.
Yeah.
So,
Did we have any other business first?
oh, I don't think so. I think everything's in the packet.
Okay. Then we'll move on to old business, circle, hardscape, and benches.
So I updated this maps to show this is where the gazebo is, and this is where each one of the branches are currently. And originally, Paul had designed it so the benches went in between, kind of. And I know that, Rob, we had discussed maybe that you wanted to shift them over.
I would have if we're gonna put the Air Force on the bench, then that should line up to the flag, I think.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, I knew,
One more.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
And I said we wanted to move the benches.
Well, we discussed it. So right now, we were having them kind of alternate. So, but we can shift them. I'm meeting with Paul.
Oh, so these are the benches?
Yeah.
Oh. No, I mean, it's, you know, if it's the Air Force bench, you would think it would be in front of the
Okay.
Air Force flag.
Yep.
But I guess if the bench is here, excuse me, and the flagpole's there, and you feel like this flagpole's right in your face,
Right.
then I like the way Paul's got them.
Okay.
How far back are they gonna be?
And that was my question, yeah.
I think it's,
I don't see a distance.
now I see the 10 feet between these two.
In the road.
Yeah. So I would assume it is 15 feet. But I can check. Want me to check with Paul? Because I'm going to be meeting him anyways.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'd go with your judgment. If you, like you said, you know, if you feel like you're sitting there and this flagpole is like right
Yeah, well,
here.
15 feet is probably gonna hit the wall, isn't it?
Well, isn't that, so this is the outer edge, this dashed line
Yeah.
where the 10-foot is?
It's a road.
So that's, no, I thought the road is here.
The road is out here.
The road is, so if this is the road,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then this is the edge of the grass,
Which
I
is
mean,
a
that's-
10-foot foot. That circle's huge.
yeah. And if that's I mean,
Yeah, I forget what all the dimensions actually are.
so it looks like, I wish I knew what his little 3 was over there by Army.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's east.
Oh, it's, we used to have a joke on the aviation charts. It said that it looked like LOE and it was 1 degree east. So if that's 10 feet, then I would imagine the flagpoles are
It looks double, like 1.5.
10, 20, 30. That almost looks like a 10, 20, 30. Doesn't it? If the
30
edge of the
foot.
stone to the edge of the road is 10 feet, and Paul drew this to scale, then the flag circle to the edge of the stone is 10 feet. And the American
So
flag
the whole
to
thing is 75 feet. So inside would be 65 feet.
the whole thing is, what whole thing?
So
whole
the whole diameter,
Is 75.
75.
So 65 divided by 2 is 35. Yeah, so if the flagpole is not right in front of your face, then I just say put the bench in front of the flag, because
Okay.
that's the point of the bench. But if it seemed claustrophobic, then spread it out, but it doesn't seem odd, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like Moxie.
Yeah,
How big are the benches? How long?
they're big. They're like, I think they were 5 feet long, right?
Oh, they're like park benches?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're circular.
Oh.
little curved.
Yeah, you guys, we already voted on those.
Oh, no. I didn't know if they were the concrete kind or the
They're granite.
Granite.
5-foot granite. Oh.
And then we get the granite ring going around the
Yeah.
small flags.
So
The
what we have,
surface
2 of
flags.
them are already purchased, or they're already spoken for. The Marines and the Air Force. So I am uncertain about the Navy right now because I think somebody else wants the Navy one, but and I'm questioning the Coast Guard one because I think somebody else asked me about that one. So I'll have to track down the people who spoke to me and try to fill these in. Worst case scenario, we'll probably have to either fundraise or buy the Space Force, I'm assuming, because there won't be anyone from that branch.
No, I haven't seen anybody.
Yeah, we may
around.
have to do our own Space Force.
Yeah.
Nobody from interest from the Army?
Not yet, but I think there will be.
How much are these?
They're like $5,000, and they come with it'll say whatever the branch is on the outside, and then on the inside will say, like the Schiavis will have Deb and Tony Schiavi, and then Stephen Exaros is in memory of Nicholas Exaros.
Well, the Army one will be like the 3rd or 4th or 5th choice, just because I want to do the Gold Star more than
Yeah.
I want to do the Army. But
Yeah.
Thought you were Air Force.
like,
You would-
yeah,
but it was
our
taken.
son's Army.
Yeah.
My great grandfather was Army. So,
And then,
it's the Army.
so do we change our mind on bricking all of that? And
We're gonna
stamp
do
concrete or
stamp
something like
concrete. Yeah, it'll look like brick, but it'll just be stamp concrete. So I'm gonna have he's gonna come and meet. He said on the next cold day, because when he can't do all of his regular surveying, he's squeezing us in on a cold day and wants to know if we could meet down there and we'll just walk where we want the Walk of Remembrance to go from and to, and then he can then plot it out and give us square footage to put it out to bid.
Oh, very good.
So and then we can have them do the circle at the same time.
Okay.
Okay.
that? Oh, for the stamp. And are we gonna put the granite ring around the service?
No, I
flags?
don't think so. I think
Do we want to put a small base around it?
Around which?
Around all the service flags?
right now they're just separate. I don't think we need it. I mean, we could do it, but it's very expensive.
Because
This
at one point
inner-
we're gonna put a granite ring around
I
there.
know. So the inner ring rate was like what, $20,000 to do that ring?
Wait, isn't this all the stamped concrete?
I want it to be all stamped. He's asking if we want to do another thing of granite.
Because it shows a ring in the picture.
Yeah,
Okay, well, can't they?
they can make it look like it's
That's what I was saying.
different
I
color.
think they can do
a color.
mixed,
Do like if the
Patterns.
flag six that wide,
and
do
then
a gray
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
around that.
All right.
if possible, yeah.
All right. Gray stamp.
Okay, so we have no idea where we're gonna meet.
I mean, it also wouldn't hurt to where well, I guess the benches are gray.
The benches are gray. Usually underneath there, you can do like a gray footing, but I think it would look better if it looked like it was bricked underneath.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Otherwise, you've got gray on top, sitting on top of gray.
Yeah, yeah.
And since you've got this circle, the guys when they cut the grass, it'll
Yeah,
stand out to them.
right.
And they'll just have to respect that with their weed whacker,
Yeah.
their stone chipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what about any progress on the speed bump or whatever we're gonna do to claymores to keep cars out?
No,
of the
but but I think we need to put a hold on that because we have to pay for all of this, which is more important. And when we get to our balance, you'll see. So, I mean, I think if we have extra money after the fact, we could probably look into that, or if I can see if a link has any funds to get one of the removable ones. But I just don't think that we want to push
that's
the
what
envelope and do something and then not be able to do this because I
See,
want
that's
this.
why I like the high school speed bump method.
Yeah.
Because tar isn't that expensive.
Right.
And when the guys are out doing road repair,
Yeah,
I mean, how much they go, I bet they go to Bobby Hour and
Yeah.
get a load.
well, yeah, but I don't know that they would do they only do little patches with that.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking out loud here.
I could call Barrow, not Barrows,
Cantos.
Cantos, yeah.
Cantos.
Because he did all of the berms for us anyways and just
And I
asked
still
him.
think that, the neighborhood, next time you go, if you're down in Hyannis,
Yeah,
that neighborhood that cuts through, that goes around Mary Dunn,
yes,
that goes by the golf course?
Yeah.
They have speed bumps in there. They're a little big and a little annoying.
Mhm.
But I think they're the wide kind. They're like as
Like a
wide as this
tabletop.
table.
yeah,
Yeah, so they only go up like 2 or 3 inches, if that. It's enough that your car goes
Yeah.
if you hit it too fast.
Yeah.
And that's I just kind of think I'm not a plow driver,
Yeah.
but it just seems like it's just
gradual.
that the
Yeah.
plow, because they undulate, right?
Yeah,
Oh, they move, but the trouble is, if it's flat like this, then it'll go up and down, but if it's like this, then all of a sudden it goes up and it leans up, then you got an 10-foot beam and it's gonna dump snow on one side or the other as it goes up over a bump,
Oh.
because it doesn't hit it flat.
Yeah. And I guess maybe there's no good solution other than claymores.
yeah,
Car gets too close to the circle.
yeah,
Because I've seen other places, they have like if you wanted something in front of it, build a small wall and it tapers down and say Veterans Memorial right on the front of it. And it'll,
Again, I don't know how much that's gonna cost.
I don't know.
Yeah,
But it's I mean, you
See,
can make it out
that's
of wall
quasi
stones.
the Jersey barrier method. Except shaped and
Yeah,
you
just a
probably
little.
know how to use rebar, don't you?
I can do that stuff. I'm getting too old to do that stuff, but I can do that stuff.
Well, I mean, that's just a couple of sheets of plywood cut to the shape of your, and then you get Cape Cod Agri-Mix to come over with the truck and pour it.
I'll think about it if you're going to be the sidekick.
Well, it's just interesting. Well, because then we have to get the letters. Unless-
Yeah, then you put up.
Yeah,
Then you just have a placard stuck in the front of it.
yeah.
Be less expensive. So
I
that's
do kind of like that idea.
that's my thought.
If it's shaped nicely, or just
Just come up about this high in the corners and about knee height in the middle. Big enough in the center. I put
and it has to be braced a little bit, just so a
it'll
car,
be curved.
so grandma doesn't knock it over by accident.
And if it does, it shoots them off either direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, brainstorming, Robin. I like that idea.
alrighty.
It's not a huge storm, but it's an idea in it.
No, I think that's a great idea.
I could draw something up if you wanted.
Yeah, I think we should talk about that.
Yeah.
How much can concrete cost? Mix it ourselves,
Because you get a concrete and just veneer the stone in front of it.
Oh, and veneer the stone, yeah, so it looked granity, yeah.
So it looks like a stone wall.
I'd have to kind of see it so it doesn't distract from the
Yeah.
circle, but.
Just that high. That's
Very
my
good.
idea. Okay.
Okay.
Now we got the budget for 2024.
So
It says 2025.
it's supposed to be the 2025. Sorry, that was me it should be 2025, not 2024. So I did meet with Joe. I had my review, and he took the flags and moved them into our already unclassified item number, and all the other stuff is fine. He thinks it might be a tough sell to get a part-time secretarial staff, even though every year they keep telling me I'm going to get a part-time secretarial staff, and I still don't. So we'll have to see. We will have a meeting with the finance department and a couple of selectmen. So at that point, maybe one of you guys could come.
I could have sworn he said that publicly.
He did. That he was going to try to get somebody that we could share.
Yeah,
But he says they're trying to hold him to this budget, and he doesn't think that it will go through, but,
Well, the 100-hour helper that has some potential, depending on
right,
who
right,
and their background. Yeah.
right.
And yeah, and not being an employee, you wouldn't want to have them doing something critical.
Right.
Where if there was a mistake, because they're not an employee and there's no backup system. It's like,
Right. So we did discuss at one point about, he wanted me to check to see if we could pay for a part-time employee out of the cemetery revolving. I just don't think we're gonna have any funds to pay for it out of the cemetery.
too many
revolving.
projects, I
Yeah.
can tell you right now, without even looking.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so that is the whole budget, and I've already put it into Munis, and this is all of the other information. I also did discuss with him the adding a additional fee for Saturday burials for the $300. And,
yeah.
and I did talk to him about, especially in the summertime, it's probably more the summer and September. Those are the two busiest months. So July's not as busy as August and September. They're probably my busiest burial months. And, at one weekend, me, Jim, and Pete were all doing burials at the same time. So we had 6 burials in one day. So it was extremely busy.
But was this a problem?
So he's gonna try to put it through, and so I said, what we would do is this extra funds would come in, and we could reimburse the DPW for all the hours.
Right, well, that was the plan.
Right,
We
right.
wanted to jack up the numbers
Yeah.
and because it
So
should
it's a
be.
zero cost to the town.
It's a zero cost reason that we did this.
Right.
I mean, this should not even be a debate because it's not coming from anybody's money.
You're right.
It's the people contact you and, we want to do the burial at 3:00 in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay, well, it's $300 because it says by exception.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, all we're doing is passing on true cost to the consumer.
right.
It's not inflationary, it's not greed, it's practicality.
Right.
So he has to go to the selectmen with that?
I'm not sure. We'll have to see. He didn't say either way, but I think
Does he understand why we?
Yeah, he does, and he
okay.
thinks it's a good idea.
Okay.
He does.
Because I would think he would be in favor of
Right.
net zero or whatever phrase you want to attach to that. Okay.
That's good.
So then the signs, and there's a lot of stuff on the signs. So you have 2 separate packets. One is from Henry D. Crosby and Son, and one is from Don Fancy. So
For
we should,
signs?
yeah. So this is signs, and this is
There's
signs.
one
I didn't know he did signs.
and this
Well,
one.
he did the signs at Hawk's Nest, which look like this.
Okay, so it's like a headstone type of a
Right.
setup sign.
Which
I think we talked about it,
Yeah,
last week.
yeah,
last
which
week.
require 0 maintenance for the future, which is, we're doing a lot of maintenance on these signs now. So these signs, this one was done in Hawk's Nest 12 maybe years ago, and it looks exactly the same as the day we installed it. The only thing you have to do is every now and then would be hit it with the D2, which you spray and walk away. So he gave us prices to do the Smith, the Harding, and the Lothrop, which are the 3 older ancient cemeteries, which I think they would be.
It would blend in.
It would, yes, at that cemetery. But it's your decision. And then we also had Dawn give us prices.
Where's the Harding Cemetery?
The Harding Rider Cemetery is where the water tower is on, if you come up 39 on the left-hand side. I should have brought the
Here, I
folder.
got it.
It's out on Route 39?
Here, I'll show you exactly where it is. It's on Route 39.
On the corner of a road.
Let me just
But then the other cemeteries are gonna keep the big green sign,
Yeah.
right?
see, last month, and actually the month prior to that too, we
Should
had a
have done that
big
on
discussion.
Main Street then?
Say that again? What
He
was the
said, should
question?
we have done that one on Bank Street? We could.
No,
No.
no. Well, I mean, we could have, but I mean, I just think the Bank Street one, in hindsight, it's like we did overkill, but it's a neighborhood and it kind of,
And sometimes
He
overkill is
said-
fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Got a lot of attention.
I saw that.
so. Where am I?
You're in Chatham now, aren't you?
No. Here's Main Street, Chatham Road. It is, so here's 39,
Okay.
and it's something Shea Road.
Skipper?
Skipper Shea, here's just after John Joseph. Here's the water tower, and then,
Okay.
so here's Skipper Shea Road, and if you can see it, if it'll come up, you see this little rectangle right here?
Okay. That's it.
That is our rights to the Harding Ryder gravesite.
So,
So you see how dangerous it is? That was my big concern
Yeah.
is you can't park here. If you do, you really ought to have a blue light special keeping you safe. If you park here and then walk through somebody's neighbor backyard, yeah, it's not very cool. Or you park here, it's the same thing, even though Cindy knows either one of these people, they're family friends. But it was like, no, this is just not a safe thing to do, and that came up because we got a scout that's gonna fence it for us, right? That's an
well, we
Eagle
don't
project.
know, we don't know if that's gonna be one of the Eagle projects. We've got a whole bunch of Eagle Scouts that now wanna do, we have 2 currently that are already assigned. One is doing, the Hawks Nest Cemetery, and another one is doing the Bell's Neck or Smith Cemetery. That's what it's called.
Nowhere is it called Bell's Neck, stop that.
Okay, it's in
That's the
Bell's
one
Neck.
down
That's
the
coming
end
up,
of the
this is
conservation
coming
trail?
up.
Yeah, what?
That's
Yeah.
the one down the end of the conservation trail?
The Bell's Neck?
No, you're
No, that's
thinking
Lakeside.
you're thinking of Lothrop. That's, yeah.
Lothrop.
Okay, so then we got so many of these here. I don't even know.
Hang
what
on,
they
it's
are.
coming up, it's coming
coming
up.
up?
I-
Okay.
If you
All right.
looked at the spreadsheet, it's coming up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we thought this was too unsafe, so it's getting a split rail
rail.
fence with a little tiny entrance. And instead of the green sign, which I initially wanted, we decided to go with this subdued concrete Hawk's Nest type sign, so it doesn't cause a traffic jam and people going, oh, there's where Harding Roseberry. I'm like,
Yeah.
just drive on, keep moving.
Okay, all right, I'm with you.
Okay, is that okay?
I think so. We'll find out later.
Well, I mean, did you
Yeah.
want the big sign? I mean, we haven't bought it yet, it just, yeah, I mean, with Cindy, we were kind of going, and actually it was your Robin's idea to keep it mellow instead of advertising, because there's no place to park. I mean, I've driven by this a whole bunch of times,
They just have
really
the little-
slowly going, yeah, I'm not parking here.
Is there a headstone standing up in there, or is it
Yeah.
a flat stone?
Yeah, there's, let me see if I can have it here.
Because I lived on Long Road my whole life and never knew there was a cemetery at the street.
Harding Ryder.
This one you're really gonna look for it. You can't see it.
And then the Bell's Neck one is,
So that's on Smith Street, and it's the old Smith property, which is now all conservation land to the left of the cemetery. They
is it on the south side?
It-
South end, as you come off from West Harwich up the paved road and turns to dirt, is it down in that area?
it's before it's on the paved road.
Paved
It's
road.
on the right hand side.
There, you
Grass
see
on
that little
houses.
picture? So the wooden post would be replaced by the split rail. And there's one headstone.
You just have the fence go and just make the turn.
I think it was a U.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not 4 sides, it's 3 sides with a little tiny opening, enough that they can get in and weed whack or knock stuff down if it grows.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's nobody behind you, I mean, actually you can pull off across the street and kind of see.
Yeah.
So it's past John Joseph, and then you'll see Skipper Lane, and it's like right there.
Okay. I'll have to go drive by.
All right.
So I think those signs would be better, the headstone style for that then.
All right, so now you guys all have this packet. We need to go through it like one at a time.
This one here?
Yeah. So I think we should go all the way to the end first.
Okay. Back page,
No,
Oh.
the second,
second page?
yeah. So remember we talked about the original evergreen sign, which she has in her shop right now.
And
So
then
there's two.
This original evergreen, this is on the 137 side?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so it's this whole thing, there's two options, option 1 or option 2. Option 1, super clean wax and minor touch-ups with new black paint to cover the edges, $956. Or to refurbish the signs, which will be sanded completely and then repainted with the new black, covered edges, and the price is $2,695. The only reason why I think that we probably should do that is because she's only touching it up and it's already faded. The paint won't be the same.
Never
I
mind.
agree.
So
So what's the difference between sanding the crap out of that one and repainting the whole thing? It's darn near making a new one.
no, it's not. So we'll get to the new one in 1 second.
Okay.
So it's not even close. So I need
All right, so
on the evergreen sign.
when I was doing my tours and I was doing some find a grave research for some people, I think it's Pine Grove
Yeah,
I drove by, or maybe it's Mount Pleasant, or both.
yes. So we.
It's faded, just
Yeah.
you know, and so this Dawn said, I mean, you really need to be out there cleaning and waxing every year. Okay, well, news to me, but
Yeah. So we're just gonna have to put it on like maintenance for Jim or Pete. So right now they're not really mowing. They're not really. I mean,
well, they can't wax right now.
Yeah,
It's too
but-
hot. I mean, too cold.
yeah.
Maybe at 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Early spring before they get mowing. So
But
that's a
there's
spring problem.
been some warm
yeah,
days.
yeah.
So,
Oh no, I'm not making excuses.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know.
but once we show them what needs
Mm-hmm.
to be done, there's not that many signs. To be perfectly honest with you, they can
Mm-hmm.
squeeze it in the, 8-month window that they have where the temperature is good
Yeah.
enough.
No, I like that. Yeah. 'Cause-
So I think it should be a maintenance thing that goes ongoing to preserve these signs.
Yeah. Because so where I was going with all this was, I think the signs were, whoever designed them, they
Yeah.
were a great choice. I think they're us.
Yeah,
They look good,
yeah,
which is sort of why I wanted them everywhere, but it's silly at Hawk's Nest and Harding Rider and stuff. But yeah, I think we need to step up the maintenance of them.
so I want you to,
And if this one is that bad, then I say, okay, it's
Yeah.
cheaper than buying a new sign,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
By how much, for the sake of argument?
it's $5,000 for the new sign.
Okay, yeah, so right there, we just saved $2,000, $2,400.
To replace it the next time around because I don't
Yeah,
know
and
what it
it's
costs.
sort of like, the teen that doesn't change the oil in the car and suddenly he's got a problem,
Serious
and you go,
issues.
okay, I told you you gotta do your oil change. Okay, well, we didn't know we should be washing and waxing. Lesson learned, we're gonna get on it.
Yeah,
So I say, like you were thinking, or Robin said, to grind it down and,
repaint the
the
whole
full-
thing. Yeah, it gotta look
Yeah.
brand new.
yeah.
Yeah.
Take that 60s convertible, take it down to bare metal, and
Okay.
let Earl Shad do his
So
thing.
who's making this? Who's making the
I'll
motion?
make a motion to refurbish the sign, so it's
Option
sanded completely and repainted with the black edges.
I second. Oh, that was another discussion we had, was the gold versus the black and how much the gold added to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
Look,
way a lot
that's
more,
pricey.
Looks wicked nice.
but
So ancient commission before us had done that, and there was a good choice, but in hindsight, it's an expensive choice.
What does the Harwich Bank Street sign have on it? Is that black edges?
I
I
don't
think
know.
we did black edges.
Yeah,
I think we
I think we
interrupted
did.
that, yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll change that every time we have to refurbish the
Yeah.
sign or whatever you have to do.
Yeah, I have a picture of that because I sent it to, what's his name for that article?
right. So then,
The Lothrop Cemetery?
no, we're gonna go to these, we're gonna still stay on evergreen real quick.
Okay.
So then I want you to go to this evergreen sign, so there's two different options. The hanging evergreen sign, which is more like North Harwich, or the new posted signs that we've been doing.
I like the posted sign, the other one will swing and eventually wire all that hardware.
Yeah,
I think
Oh,
it'll,
there is gold on that. sorry, I didn't wanna,
Oh, yeah, so we're not doing that anymore. All right, so the new sketch for a double sign for the entrance, so it could be a single-sided,
we're doing evergreen right now?
yeah.
Yes.
And this is for the Route 39,
Yeah,
okay?
What's on the 137 exit? The
it's
swinging one?
the hanging one.
Can that be refurbished and then remounted as the
I
other
don't
one?
think so. I think it already has all the screws in it to go up here. I mean, she'd have to fill all the holes in it and do all that stuff. I mean, and then we'd have to get a new post and stuff. That one's good like that because if it's like this affixed to the thing, people can't see it. That one is on a major road, so you can see it
Okay.
as you're driving by. If we did it at Evergreen and we put it at, we could get away with a one-sided sign, which would save us money. And we could put it, you know how when you come up the road and you see the two walls,
Which
what?
you don't see till you get there.
Yeah,
Because I pulled into the neighborhood
once.
the morning of the flag raising.
Oh.
It's like, how did you miss this, you idiot?
Oh,
Yeah.
so you think it should be hanging and out in the street?
So the cemetery, they're both in the same, so both signs are like for the same cemetery.
I'm sorry?
So we should probably keep both signs the same style at the same cemetery.
Oh, I'm just going by being able to see it coming.
Yeah. Well, because it's
However, we just got the road named.
yeah,
It is now going to have
a street sign.
a ways take me to
Yeah,
Veterans Memorial Drive, and shortly it should know where that is. So I retract my, I rescind my request to have a big fancy sign at that
Okay.
entrance.
all right.
It's Google, because we have it, it's written in the walls, right?
It's written in the walls, and that's was Robin's
Both walls?
counter to me that day when I went, yeah, but you can't see it till you're like, "Word," and then
Yeah.
turn in.
Yeah,
Even though I kind of know where it is. I mean, now I know it's not the neighborhood, it's wait for the next one.
yeah,
But it now has a street name.
and a sign. It'll get a street
And the
sign.
wall, huh?
It'll get a street sign that says Veterans Memorial.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah, so it's gonna be,
So it's
you wanna go
probably-
to Evergreen Cemetery and or the Veterans Memorial,
Yeah,
you go down Route 39 or Sisson Road or whatever it's really called to Veterans Memorial Drive,
yeah. Okay,
turn south.
so that's that one. So we're gonna skip over that one.
So,
skip
wait,
that.
so I think, well, what do you think? I mean, I don't wanna be the only one saying this, but I
Well,
mean,
if
I don't
we
think
put
we
more
need this.
signs there, it's gonna be redundant, because it's on the two cement walls, or the two stone walls that are
Yeah,
there.
but see, I was in the Air Force and we had the Air Force Department of Redundancy Department.
Yeah, and they're all like that.
So that's what, yeah, so I don't think we need this, do you?
No, I don't
because
think
it's nicely done on the walls, low maintenance, and it's gonna get a street name.
Yeah,
And we need landscaping around those walls.
yeah, on the top.
Symmetrical,
Yeah, symmetrical, yeah,
the same on both
I
sides.
agree. All right, so I move that we table
Next these.
the new evergreen sign on Route 39.
I'll second
Does that
that.
need a second?
I second
That's
it.
unanimous. Oh, look, I just saved $5,000. I'm such a stingy Scot.
Okay.
I'm not gonna go down that road.
All right, so then,
Hang on.
that's
You know how
that.
copper wire was invented?
They tried to stretch something in there.
2 airline pilots fighting over a penny.
Okay. So now we have, do you want to do the three signs, the Smith, Harding Riding, and Lothrop?
Okay,
Oh,
that's,
we're going back now to this one?
Yeah, it's still this. So they're in this packet. So this is the Lothrop sign she wants to do, which is 1,306.
I got 1390.
1306. Wait.
1390.
No, you're looking at the one that's on the street. I'm looking at the one in the cemetery.
Oh,
Oh, so we're gonna stick that in the street and stick that in the cemetery, way up in there?
Yeah.
no.
So we're gonna not go with
No.
No.
Yeah, I say we do, where's the street
We
number?
do the street one.
So are we cool with the
Well, I still
HTC?
have to send this to HGC.
HCT, sorry.
I didn't want to send it to them until
To Mike?
you approved it. Yeah.
Oh, I bet Mike will go for this. I'm just guessing.
Yes.
Yeah, I
We
like
always
this.
go,
I
"Thank
think
you,
he
Mike."
might not want the scroll.
Well, that's much.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine too.
Yeah.
We just need it secure.
Okay.
So I
send this-
move that we request that the HCT allow us to put a Lothrop Cemetery
Underneath their
Sign.
sign.
pending the new business at the end.
And that'll be double-sided, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a perpendicular sign.
Steve, you seconding that?
I seconded it.
Okay.
And then I move that we, at the actual cemetery itself,
Right.
Go with
we go to the Henry Crosby.
yes.
Bluestone tablets?
Bluestone
Yes.
tablets.
Okay.
I like that idea.
And are you doing, so now she did them for the other ones too, but I think that maybe she didn't. No, that's all right. So then we'll do all three of these?
The Smith, the Smith though, these will be down at the actual cemetery parts, not on the road.
Right by the entrance to the split rails.
Yeah,
So
Smith.
Smith.
no, yes.
Ahead of Wixon, she's.
Yeah, Smith
Lothrop.
and Wixon and Hawk's Nest. So Hawk's Nest is kind of right by the split rail, if I remember right, the steps.
Yep,
Do I have
yeah,
that right?
yeah, you go up the
Yeah,
steps, it's on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Put in this, in the Lothrop one, that's good.
And this is what you want to call them, Smith Cemetery, Harding Ryder Cemetery, Lothrop Cemetery.
The Smith Cemetery's in 39.
Do you want to skip our agenda here and jump ahead to this and talk about it now?
Well, we can't, I don't want to put this in stone and then have to change it, so.
All right, well, I think we can vote on the style and then we can readdress the names.
Okay.
If that
Okay.
is even a thing.
All right,
It may just be the new guy coming out and.
right.
Did we make
So-
a motion on that?
So I move that we disregard the big Lothrop sign that matches our other main cemeteries, because we're taking care of that at the Harwich Conservation Trust sign if they permit us.
Yep,
And then I move that we
accept.
accept the bluestone style for
The other
the Smith, Harding Ryder, and Lothrop cemeteries.
I'll second that.
Wording to be discussed shortly.
Yeah, to be determined like 2 lines down.
Well, it may not be anything, it may just be me. So it's fine. We may need the
And we'll
Harwich
figure that out
Historical
then.
Committee here
Yeah.
to help us fix this.
Okay. So what I've been doing is, this is in your packet as well, so every time we're spending money, I'm writing it
You're
down.
making an adjustment?
I'm writing it down.
Well, you're
so.
correcting the fact that we're not spending some money? I don't even know where that is.
Okay, so it was at the beginning, it was like right after the other,
Oh, I got it right here. I had moved it, so I had it.
I just like to keep my eye on them.
Yeah, okay,
And
so,
number.
Okay, so the Smith is out on Route 39, right?
Nope,
no,
Smith is in Fells Neck. It's on Smith Street.
Okay,
You know where the
sorry.
old church is?
Yep.
And then, you know where the Lothrop one is, and then the Harding Ryder is on 39.
that's the one we just looked at.
Okay. So this is all done.
Oof.
So we're
So we
revisiting
did,
that.
we did
Okay.
that, and we did E, so we're up to F.
Year-to-date cemetery revolving account.
Okay, so
Where did that go?
that's this one. Right here.
And still no statement, huh? No end-of-year statement from the bank?
Year-end
No.
statement.
I'm sure there'll be anything.
Yeah, I'm starting to get all my statements in the mail.
Yeah. So, this is up to date till, a couple days ago. So we have,
All right, so what numbers do you have there? That you're spending now?
$26.95 and $48.65. $26.95 is Evergreen. I don't know if you want to write that. And this is the Bluestone tablets.
All right, so that gets 3, 3, 4, 3, 0, 6, 6. So that puts us, the available balance is down to 25,870.66.
Okay. Yeah. So typically I start selling a lot of lots in March.
What is there a ballpark roughly how many you sell per month?
No.
I mean, I realize it's subject to health
yeah.
and disease and,
Right. At need. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, just
let's back
the
up.
last 2 weeks I sold.
So the revenue, and this goes until June 30th?
Yep.
So year to date, your revenue is $30,000
Correct.
with 3 months to go,
Yeah.
4 months to go.
It's usually around 50.
All right, so it's usually around 50.
Yeah, it's close to 50. Usually I sell a lot of lots in the spring.
So
People don't want to look at lots when the leaves are not on the trees.
So that's roughly 4 a month average, even though it's
Yeah.
not, that's an average.
Right.
So next month, we would expect the available balance to be 29, and then that's the March meeting, and then the April meeting, we'd be at 33, which is right back where we are right now,
Correct.
unless there was
Yeah.
spending.
Right.
Well, but see, that helps with the mental budgeting of, well, wait, can we really do this? 'Cause,
Right.
oh, 4,000 a
It
month,
helps
yeah, we
Robert
can
to
do
stay
that.
calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
It helps you to stay calm and more of even keel. That we're trying to keep pulling you back.
Well, I would go crazy if Robin came in one day and said, "Oh, by the way, we're at
-3.
we're at a negative." I mean, go get my gun and create some new business. No, for the tape, I did not say that. But I mean, it's you got to balance things
Right.
or stay ahead of it. So that's all I think we're doing.
So we're doing
okay.
we're doing pretty good.
But again,
We are having a pre-planning seminar coming up, and usually when I have those, I sell extra lots anyways. We didn't really have one last year. We had one the year before that. So,
huge trend to cremations I saw on the news or
right.
some video somewhere.
Although I have to say, a lot of our older adults are still going traditional casket. It's more the younger people that are being cremated. So, and we have a very older population here in this town. So
Our kids are thinking that way. I don't know what Kim and I are going to do, but
yeah.
I'm amazed at the Christian religious debate over it. People that think you can't do that.
but I don't think it's doesn't
Well,
say one way or
now
another in the
Holy
Bible,
Trinity
though.
has that wall now. I think a lot of people.
Well, there's still a lot of people that, without researching it,
Yeah.
they because of rumor control, they go, well, that's
Well, I think
not biblical to do that.
so. Not that we
No,
have a
that's not
huge
true.
Jewish population, but we do have some Jewish families. Most of them are buried in Pine Grove, and they are definitely traditional burials.
Sure.
So I think it depends on who you're.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was just commenting on stuff that's like popped up on YouTube, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, I didn't even realize people were even going this way.
Okay.
Are we ever going to do anything with the natural burials?
No. So you have to use. So John Fougier is doing them in Truro. He says you have to use twice as much space. So you're only selling the middle lot, and then you have to have extra because you can't dig up the next body, and then you have to go in the order you die. So say you were natural burial, and you were here, and then they had 20 more natural burials. Your spouse cannot go next to you. Your spouse has to go in the next person in line.
However, wherever she.
And they're not marked, so it's not. It's
we
you
saw that
lose
whole
money.
seminar.
So I mean, you get more money by. Not that I think we'd have to charge 3 times as much money for the lot because that's
Using
how
a
much
three-
it's worth.
It's like a 3-lot
Yeah.
width, and you're
Yeah.
in the middle.
Yeah.
So
And then you mound it up. So you mound it with dirt, and then it's supposed to then, as your body decomposes,
Fill it.
yeah, it's supposed to sink. I don't see us doing it.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask because we saw that whole seminar thing.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. Okay, now we get bid documents for tree removal in cemeteries.
Yeah, okay, so I
saw
sent-
the guy walking around in Evergreen.
Yeah, so I did actually go out to bid. I got all the information from Link first, how he got his bid documents, but he needed a tree removal person who could do work near electrical lines, and we didn't need that. But I did put it out, and I requested the work includes a bucket truck with a working height of at least 65 feet, because in the Arboretum, especially some of the trees in there are huge. And even in some of the other cemeteries, they're pretty tall, but especially in Island Pond. So I received 3 bids back, which was great, but only one of them had a bucket truck. The other 2 people do not have bucket trucks.
Which one has a bucket truck?
The one on the top. So, and I put in your packet, you can see all the price quotes, and this is an actual, I'm not saying anything, but these are the 3 price quotes. Look at the 3 different price quotes that we got.
Am I looking at the right thing?
Yeah, this is from an established long-term company, and these are people that are newly. So I just think that because they don't have bucket trucks, it kind of excludes them anyways.
Yeah. So the last, Johnson and the other guy don't have bucket trucks.
No, they do not.
So it sort of narrows the list down really quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I just need somebody to make the motion.
Then I'll make the motion to have Mackenzie Tree Service do the work because they're the only ones that have a bucket truck.
And these are the only people that responded, not
Out of 10,
all the Eager Beaver and all these other people that you see their trucks, giant bucket trucks.
I
around.
sent literally
Yeah,
this.
and
I
they
mean,
didn't want it, huh?
I emailed and called, and they're just like, no, because they can make more money. So these are all the people I called.
Wow.
Literally, I called
Wow.
all of these people,
Huh.
and I was surprised that only 3 of them. And for the longest time, Mackenzie was the only one that responded. He responded immediately, like within 3 days, and everyone else
Okay.
took to the last day.
Did I finish that motion or where did I end up?
Oh,
We accept-
I'll second the Mackenzie.
Mackenzie,
Because he's the only one that met specifications with the bucket truck.
And we're just.
which
And
is
how
so
long
weird.
is this for? A year?
Yeah, so weird that we accepted that, and that's my new granddaughter's name.
Oh, cool.
It was meant to be.
Steve makes motion, Rob seconds. I will bring all of this bid documentation over to Megan at Town Hall so that we can have that approved.
Okay. And that'll give them a go ahead to start whenever they want to start doing stuff.
Yeah, there's some trees that need to come down in Island Pond and in Mount Pleasant. In Mount Pleasant, there's a whole bunch of people that want to purchase the lots that are by Tip O'Neill's. That back edge, we're making a whole new kind of driveway into that area, and so we'll probably sell a lot of lots as soon as that's cleaned up and cleared. So
Okay, that's not part of that bid then. The tree removal stuff.
yeah, that tree removal they can do. Well, the DPW is doing all of the road work, but they can't get down some of those trees because they don't have a bucket truck and they don't want to smash,
Stones.
especially tips. So,
Yeah, no,
so
don't wanna do that.
they want somebody else to remove the trees.
Okay. Then we get
Okay.
the town website for cemetery department.
Okay. So this is all of this stuff. So
Yeah,
I
so I've been talking to Caleb and I were just discussing that, and he's got it live. And when I get home, I'll go look at it, play with it. And I think we'll be ready for the,
migration.
yeah,
Okay, so I just have those few things that they asked me to send over to Caleb, which
Yeah.
I will do. And I think we'll be ahead of the curve. I don't think any other department's even done it. So,
and the timeline is the migration is like February 16th. And then the only thing we're losing is
Right.
then the 2 weeks roughly during the migration, we just can't make any changes.
Right.
So that's why we're just trying to get stuff up and current.
And I
Oh,
also,
running on, oh, migrate from the one site to the other. Then one.
yeah, they're moving it. So I also put in all the packet from Sarah Eaton. It's another whole packet in there, should be stapled. So maybe it's, yeah. So, that is the entire migration stuff, so if you guys wanna read that at your leisure.
I think the emphasis is that mobile thing, your phone works better with it.
Yeah,
I mean, ours actually kind of does fine, so.
right,
And you won't really know till it goes on their system.
right.
And then you go, oh, this is
Yeah.
garbage. You know, well, then we may have to address this. But we just cleaned up the menu. That was the biggest thing that got done.
Yeah.
Clean up the menu, and Caleb
So
was
this-
cool. He added these drop downs on the menus. So I don't know how that'll work on the cell phone, but we'll
So
find
the
out.
Methodist Cemetery in East Harwich, there's no available lots in that one.
What?
There's no available lots in the East Harwich, the Methodist, Old Methodist.
No,
It's full,
East Harwich Union,
or whatever by the church.
yeah, no.
Is it East Miss?
So this is the map, so we should talk about the names right now.
Where's the map?
That's the last page.
Okay.
All right, Robert, you're up.
All right, so me scratching my head about the names happened months ago when Steve, when you said, so we should really go by the Bell's Neck Cemetery. And I sat here like a new guy, scratching my head going, how come I don't know where the Bell's Neck Cemetery is?
Yeah.
Because there is no Bell's Neck Cemetery. That was my point.
Yeah.
So when I sent you guys this page that's on this Google Sheets thing
Yeah.
that I maintained for us, so I went through, and I wish I could put it on the screen, but so this, where it's column B, where it says current, this is what we refer to these cemeteries as
Yeah,
in the new rules that we just finished last year.
yeah,
Didn't actually be what they're called.
Okay, so then you go to Cape Cod Gravestones, which is a website, not that it's authoritative, but people use it. You go to Find a Grave, which is not affiliated with Ancestry or
but
Family Search.
I can update that.
Well, it's not that, it's that these are what they're called, that they're places.
Right.
And then if you do a Google search, there were other names that come up. And then if you go to whoever, these guys, the MA Gen Web, which has got a lot of cemetery and historical information about the region, they have these names. And just as a side note, the established dates are all different.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know when they were really established, because there were some that said they were established on this date, but the first burial was actually years before that,
right.
like the
So I
Tripp
think
family
that should be
one.
when it was established. Is when
Yeah.
you're
Well, you'd
put
think,
there.
yeah. All right. So anyway, so
Do you wanna just go down to one by
so
one?
evergreen is evergreen
Yeah, that's,
everywhere. Island Pond is Island Pond everywhere. Kelly is either Kelly Street Cemetery, Kelly Cemetery,
it should just be Kelly
and
Cemetery.
I think that's how we call it. Okay. Mount Pleasant is Mount Pleasant. There, I mean, I could go. Is it MT period or is it Mount?
It's
word.
It's Mount Pleasant.
Mount. Well, okay, so it's not on Google.
Okay,
Does that really matter?
no, it doesn't, that's an abbreviation.
North Harwich. So, and I don't want to go crazy with this, but so we call it the North Harwich Cemetery, and we have a sign there that says North Harwich Cemetery.
Yeah,
But then you have all the AKAs.
yeah.
Now,
What is AKA for North
also
Harwich?
known as the Old Baptist Cemetery.
Oh,
really.
The Old Baptist, and that's referenced in two places, Cape Cod Gravestones and Mass Gen Web.
yeah. So the old Baptist church was across the street from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we do a sign, we don't need to, do we need to reference that, or,
I don't think so.
but somehow we want to preserve the also known as
Yeah.
for people to reference. And I think, so maybe if on the website,
If you
each
click on
cemetery
it,
has a page.
Yeah.
and it'll list the other.
And I think it should be prominent that this is the North Harwich Cemetery, also known as.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with
That's
that.
okay with everybody?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Pine Grove is Pine Grove.
Yeah.
The South Harwich Cemetery.
Yep.
That's South Harwich Cemetery, AKA Methodist Churchyard Cemetery.
Yeah.
But just an AKA.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I take that back. And then it's also under Family Search Wiki, it's the Methodist Churchyard Cemetery, South Harwich Cemetery. And the dates are 1829, or the first burial is 1811. Well, anyway, so
I
these
think
are,
it was established the first burial that went in there. I mean, the burial went in there, so obviously.
I would put the established dates as the first.
is it
burial
on our
goes in.
sign?
I'll have to look.
Yeah. So I mean, I bring this up just for standardization, and I mean, I would not redo a sign because we're
Yeah.
off by 18 years or whatever
Yeah.
the difference is. But I think we probably ought to be cognizant of it, you know. So Bank Street, we labeled it Bank Street Cemetery, right?
Yeah.
Didn't I just look at that? Bank Street Cemetery.
Yeah.
And everybody, well, I take that back. So, whoever the top column is, Family Search, it is Bank Street Burial Ground. On Google, it's Bank Street Cemetery, but that's fine. And at Mass Gen Web, it's Bank Street Burial Ground.
Yeah.
So we'll AKA that
Yeah.
on the website, okay? Baptist Church Cemetery is, that's fine.
Yeah.
Harding Ryder is one place it was just Ryder, but, oh no, we call it the Ryder Cemetery. What are we doing the sign for?
Harding Rider.
Okay, that's good, I like that. In the rule book, so maybe we can amend the rule, that page in the rules,
Okay.
that should just be a typo and re-upload.
Oh,
Because our rules say Ryder Cemetery, and I think it should be
Harding, right?
Harding Ryder Cemetery. I mean, it's,
Yeah, because we could change that without going through a whole lot of shenanigans.
Okay.
oh, now you strap in. Hawk's Nest.
It's the
Hawk's
Eldridge.
Nest
Yeah.
is known as the End of the Pond Cemetery, Spruce Street, 1825. Hawk's Nest Pond Cemetery, 1826, off Spruce Street. Hawk's Nest Pond Cemetery, and this is at Cape Cod Gravestones. Hawk's Nest Pond Cemetery, AKA Head of the Bay Cemetery. Hawks Nest Cemetery, AKA Hawks Nest Pond Cemetery. And then at Mass Gen Web, Mass Gen Web, it is End of the Pond Cemetery, AKA Hawks Nest Cemetery, Hawks Nest Pond Cemetery, AKA Head of the Bay Cemetery.
No. Ebenezer Eldridge.
No, that the Eldridge one is the Old Methodist. We're getting to that.
Okay.
So, but we're calling it Hawks Nest Cemetery.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what our rule book says.
Yeah.
Okay, the rules. Lothrop Cemetery. At Family Search, it is known as the Mehetabel Wixon Chase Family Cemetery, 1832. Then at Family Search, it is known only as the Wixon Family Cemetery. And then at Mass Gen, it is the Mehetabel Wixon Chase Family Cemetery, AKA Lothrop Avenue Cemetery.
That makes
So
sense.
we're not anywhere near those. It's sort of like the Ryder. We call it the Ryder, but it's really the Harding Ryder, and we're calling it Lothrop Cemetery. So, again, I'm just reporting the facts.
I know.
You're the expert,
I
or the
know.
Harwich
So-
Historical Society is the expert, because there are
the-
documents that say.
Right. So there's a million Wixon cemeteries.
Yeah, and I
I get it.
I like that argument that
Yeah.
we need to differentiate it
Right.
somehow. And I think Mehetabel Wixon Chase Cemetery is expensive.
And it's only talking about her. There's also her child that's
Yeah.
buried there. Maybe Lothrop Wixon.
Well, I mean, do we want to, if we're going to rename a cemetery,
No, I
I know it's us, but I would think that we would need to have
Yeah.
somebody else here that would sign off and go, okay, sure. I mean, my first argument is, what did they call it back in 1832? I mean, they put Mehetabel in the ground and, Mehetabel's buried over there.
Do you want me to
with
go
her
grab
daughter.
my book? I have a book.
I mean, well, I don't think we have to decide this today, other than the fact that we're making a sign.
Right. I mean, I can just grab the book. It's the
Okay, sure.
history of Harwich.
I mean, and I prefer Lothrop Cemetery over Lothrop Avenue Cemetery. I don't think we need the avenue.
Lothrop,
Yeah,
or Lothrop, or however city pronounces it.
no, it's Lothrop, yeah.
Lothrop.
Yeah. I forget where I saw that. Somewhere I saw it pronounced that way too. But it
But
could
if we
be,
have everything written down the rules, the names on that should
everything should match.
match. And then you can go on the different sites of the thing.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we did somewhere. Like, each of all of these pages back here are each cemetery. Well, yeah, here's Lothrop Ave, located along the trails of the Lee Baldwin Memorial Woodlands. I wrote that. But then underneath it, I said Lothrop Cemetery, because that's what we call it. And then here it says, in parentheses, the Mehetabel Wixon Chase Cemetery.
Sorry.
Looking at.
Yeah, this is all the cemeteries.
Everything you've ever wanted to.
Well, this is the Eldridge Cemetery, which is the old Methodist. So we have Hawks Nest. Baptist, East Harwich, Lothrop.
Is this book online?
No. Okay.
It's a scanning project for somebody.
It's a project, yeah, that'll take you weeks.
Okay.
Then you could organize it.
So this was done
Oh, I looked at that document.
for Burial Grounds of Massachusetts for the Historical Society.
Correct. Yeah.
And they did this for every single one. So our Historical Society did this.
I used those, the descriptions
Yeah.
that I edited, copied, and stuck on each of these pages
Yeah.
here. That's where I got the
Okay.
description if it was written. So what is that one called?
This is the name of the cemetery is called Lothrop Cemetery, and it's off of Lothrop Avenue. That's what
Okay,
it says.
there we go. So that one's good. We'll just keep it that way and
Okay.
acknowledge the other ones.
All right.
So the old Methodist cemetery. I mean, we sort of bypassed the confusion here by the big, I guess Cindy spearheaded this with the Union Cemetery.
Yes.
Yeah, it is called so.
So the old Methodist cemetery,
Isn't that the one on?
that's the Queen
Queen
Anne
Anne Road.
That's the little tiny one in Queen Anne. So we call it the old Methodist cemetery. Is that what the sign says?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was originally known as the First Methodist Cemetery, circa 1758.
Because it was a church, there, wasn't there?
That's where the First Methodist Church was, supposedly.
Yeah.
And then it moved to
Where it is now.
Church Street, or not Church, whatever that is over there. 4 corners, 5 corners.
And what day do you have on that?
Well, at Family Search, it says 1758. Then it's also called the Old Methodist Cemetery, aka Eldridge Cemetery. Then it's also called the Old First Methodist Cemetery. Then it's also called the Old Methodist Cemetery. And then if you get to Mass Gen Web, the First Methodist Cemetery, aka the Old Methodist Cemetery, aka Old Queen Anne Cemetery, aka Eldridge Cemetery, you ready? AKA the Old Indian Cemetery.
Right. So they did an entire. Did you take this? You took this history
I
thing, right?
probably did, yeah. If it's on this page.
Yeah. So it's
Old
the
Smith Family Cemetery.
no. This would be okay.
They're upside down.
Old Methodist.
Queen Anne Road, East Harwich.
I don't have any descriptions for this one.
Okay,
Is
so
there a
this has-
paragraph?
Yeah.
Why is this not on here then?
Okay. So it's the history of the burial grounds. This site was for the First Methodist
Actually,
Church.
my stuff is missing. So I sent you something new.
Okay. All right.
There's a newer version of these.
Oh, okay.
Because I had to go through and edit the font and the spaces.
Okay.
Because when I copied from a PDF,
Yeah.
Word went,
Nuts.
Yeah.
bat crazy.
So
on it.
it also says in here the earliest death date was, you're saying 1857.
I have 1758, 1759.
Who is it?
I don't know. I just put a date down. It was like an after the fact. I was trying to figure this all out.
Yeah, because I have an earliest date is 1807.
Oh,
So,
so the second date is listed on the Mass Gen website.
okay.
So that they have 1759, and that's where they list prominent burials and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was one there that said 1759.
I'll have to,
And somebody else said 1758. Oh, that's from the Family Search Wiki.
okay.
And who knows where that came from, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
anybody.
I'll have to look up that.
So, but because we renamed to the Union Cemetery, we're good with Old Methodist.
Yeah.
Okay. Old Smith Cemetery. What is the sign gonna say?
Smith Cemetery. Do you want it to say Old Smith Cemetery? I think it's,
I think it's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
So that one is known as the Smith Family Cemetery, 1834 on Bells Neck Road.
yeah.
Smith family, Smith family, Smith family.
Yeah. I think Smith
1834.
family's fine.
So, wait, where's Tommy's quote?
Let's get the Smith Cemetery,
Smith Cemetery.
Harding Cemetery, and Lothrop Cemetery.
Harding or Harding Ryder?
Harding,
Just
Harding
says
Ryder. Harding Ryder. This is what it's gonna say.
Oh, okay, I'm looking at the wrong list.
Okay.
Smith Cemetery, Harding Ryder, Lothrop.
I think that's how we should do them. Do you guys, does anyone have an objection to how that's written?
Well, everybody else calls Smith family, it's like three of them are Smith family and then two are Old Smith family. In our book, it says Old Smith family. What does that say?
Not to the front. This is,
Yeah, and our rules and regulations calls it Old Smith
Yeah.
Cemetery.
Yeah, this left-hand column I took from our rules book. And that's what the initial menu
You know
that
that.
Caleb was working on said.
so. This one doesn't have its own tab because it's so small.
Well, actually,
Yeah, we have, it's Old Smith Cemetery.
and I would-
Not family though.
I just go Old Smith Cemetery as the,
and that's what our book says.
Okay,
yeah,
So when you want to add old to Tommy's,
okay.
and that'll bump that up a little bit per letter, whatever it costs for
It's
that.
just 3 letters.
Yeah.
all right, Union Cemetery is what, and we've kind of already been through this one, but
Yeah.
anyway, other places refer to as the East Harwich Methodist Cemetery, Union Cemetery circa 1811,
Yeah.
Methodist Church Cemetery, AKA Union Cemetery. Oh, that's wrong. Why did I put that there? Harwich Union Cemetery, And then Mass Gen Web is East Harwich Methodist Cemetery, AKA Union Cemetery. And then they say AKA Old First Methodist Church Cemetery. And I was going to write the guy and say, you need to get rid of that one. Because we've already determined that the Old Methodist Church Cemetery,
It's on Queen Anne Road.
AKA the Old First Methodist Church,
Right.
was on Queen Anne Road.
Right.
So I've already got his name and address, and I'll just say, he was very nice.
Yeah.
He was thrilled that a commissioner wrote him, as opposed to garnering information from the websites,
In the book, we just have an Old Methodist Cemetery, AKA Eldridge Cemetery. Oh, that's not, okay. Union Cemetery, AKA Methodist Church Cemetery.
Yeah, and that one we kind of really beat to death last year when we
Yeah.
came up with the official name. All right, then the no longer visibles. The Chase family graveside, Chase family cemetery, Depot Street, no stones. I mean, we're not listing it, we're not
Yeah.
stoning it, so it's Kildee Hill. I mean, I've actually got coordinates for that, and it's kind of behind the dentist that's up there.
Really?
Yeah, well, I have coordinates for it, but I don't know where the coordinates came from.
It must have been a stone originally.
Well, it says nothing visible. Kildee Hill Cemetery near Kildee Hill Cemetery site. 1780. But somebody says it's no longer visible, there's no stones.
Well, no longer visible could mean the stones fell down and they're just, I mean, we probably could GPS it. I could use the ground penetrating radar.
If we have access to it.
Right.
We can, maybe next month, maybe if you have nothing to do,
If I've,
just figure that out.
I have to get this
And we can-
veterans thing done.
Yeah.
It's like my whole life right
It
now.
is, yeah. All right, then there's the New Light Burial Ground. Again, that was moved, but
Right.
there's some confusion over who is left behind. Weeks and somebody else. A rider was left behind. Then there's the Tripp family gravesite, Samuel Tripp Family Cemetery, Tripp family gravesites, Samuel Tripp Family Cemetery, 1832. Now, on this thing, so I forget the road that's on. Chase?
It's not in West Harwich then.
Yeah, that's a West Har, but somewhere is in our book, I think it's in our book, there's a Herring River gravesite. What the heck?
Not in the rules.
Somewhere is written Herring River gravesite.
Okay.
So I mean, just in West Harwich, and I have a note here that I came up with, possibly also known as the Tripp family,
Maybe.
only because
It's the only one over there.
the rough designation of where the Tripp family should be
Yeah.
is really, really close there to the Herring River.
Yeah.
Whereas,
We could just actually find out who is, we have who's buried in the Tripp family?
we do.
Because what I can do is pull their deeds, their previous deeds to the property, and then I could get a rough idea. Because usually we're buried in your backyard or the neighbor adjacent. So the Bank Street Cemeteries, the B's own the estate that was across the street, Captain B, with the pillars, and then straight across from there is where they did the burial ground.
Oh, here we go. So Tripp family on private property between the west side of Chase Street and the Herring River. Exact location undetermined. It's on private property, supposedly unmarked. I think you told me when I was brand new that trying to learn these, that we can't access it because it's private property.
Right, but if you go to their deed
Yeah.
of that property, if it says there's a burial ground on there, then I think that's, so when you get your deed, if there's an ancient burial ground on there, you can't do this covenant over the lot.
All right. So on this listing here, historic isolated burial sites,
Where did you find all this?
That's from Cape Cod Gravestones.
this is what I do retired.
This is what you do.
Portfolio and this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is on Cape Cod gravesites. So Samuel Nickerson is in Kildy Hill, Mary Nickerson, Kildy Hill, Sam Tripp, West Harwich, Chase Street family trip, 1832. Then there's the Wixons, Samuel Smith, that's off of Bell's Neck, Deborah Tripp, wife of Samuel, 1837. Harding Ryder, Jason Chase, West Harwich, east side of Lothrop Ave, and northeast of Catholic Church.
That sounds like Mahedible's lot.
Okay.
Who is it?
Jason Chase, 1847.
So he's probably in there with her? Because it's the Wixon Chase burial ground in one of the things. So I'm assuming
he's probably there,
he's
but
probably
on
there.
this page it's not listed.
I'm wondering if
yeah.
he was a sibling of hers, because Wixon was her married name.
Could be.
I'll have to do some
Yeah.
research on that.
See, I find this stuff fascinating.
Yeah.
It's just having access to source data, you know. Amos Smith, there's a photo of him somewhere. He's on Bell's Neck.
Yep.
So Smith Family Cemetery. And Lavinia Gage Smith is in the Smith family.
Yeah.
Those are 1870 burials.
I think he was a Civil War soldier. Was he a Civil War soldier?
Well, 1870, it could have been.
Yeah. Somebody in there. So somebody in that buried in there. Amos. I think it was him. Well, I'll check that.
And there was some data on trips, but I couldn't, not being a trip, I couldn't tell for sure if the Ancestry.com trips that they were talking about were our trips.
Right. A lot of them
The trips
buried
are a big clan.
Yeah, they were buried. A lot of them are in South Harwich.
A lot of them are in Rhode Island too.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I like the idea of adding, what we're adding, old.
Yep.
And then I mean, I just kind of think that because we're it,
Yep.
the buck stops here. I think we probably ought to do a little research into the unknowns.
Okay.
And if nothing else, it gets documented in 2024 that can't go there.
Yeah.
Private property, they won't let us on, we're
Yeah.
stuck.
Okay.
But maybe to monitor for a sale. If the house is up for sale, maybe the person would let us go look unless they say, well, that's going to interfere with our sale. And then we try again with the new owners.
Yeah.
Say, there's a burial ground here.
Yeah.
I know you already bought the property. You don't want to create a lawsuit. Well, you didn't tell us there was.
No. I think they have to disclose that, but.
Well, you would think,
Yeah.
you know, and it's just, I just feel really sensitive that there are burial grounds that are
Not being
did
maintained.
somebody plow this under?
Yeah.
Has somebody put a house on top of this?
Right.
It's the makings of a movie for Netflix.
Haunting.
Yes. All right, so to be continued.
And then I just have, Bill Galvin had sent me an email and reached out to a few people about the Bank Street Cemetery. And it says Bank Street Cemetery upgrade draws attention, and it did. So I had so many people calling me. Even my own sister who lives on Bank Street was like, I never even knew that there was a cemetery there. And you lived right around the corner.
I lived
You
on
didn't-
Long Road, halfway up.
So it's all cleaned up. It looks good. We preserved the American elm, which is right at the entrance, which is huge. It's a beautiful tree. So we'll just have to watch out for the ivy there, and we'll kind of revisit that when we get to the spring, go in there and see
Yeah, the
what we're going to.
front part of it, like
Yeah.
we discussed one time, needs some attention
TLC.
just to make it look
Yeah.
like the other lawns there, and then we can do whatever we want inside the fence. But I would make the outside grass and maybe put some shrubs or something.
Yeah.
What's this Sarah Eaton thing? It's not on our list.
So Sarah is the website. This is the migration stuff that we were talking about. That's why we were doing the upgrade to the website. So this is stuff that Sarah sent to me. This is all the slideshows from the new company for you to read at your leisure.
When we can't fall asleep. Don't bother.
So
It's just, it's going to a new server, and the big issue is that it kind of needs to be mobile friendly. But you don't really know that until,
I want you to sign this one too. So, I'll go over the bills. So we had Eversource, $18.63. And we had all of our water bills, and you'll be happy to know our Pine Grove home was $45. And then I did my mileage, which now I'm doing my mileage to and from my locations. I was just doing 2.
Well, it should be to and from.
I know. So now you'll see it's a lot more money.
as it should be.
Yeah.
You're using your vehicle.
Yeah.
Because you gotta
Thank
drive
you.
back from it.
And then we had deeds. We had Judy and Michael Ford bought a cemetery lot in South Harwich. Geraldine O'Malley bought a lot in Mount Pleasant. The Faulkners bought a lot in Mount Pleasant. And I think there was another one. This is just 3 there.
There's only 3 there. There's a clock in here.
It is 10:30-ish. Wow.
So when's our next meeting?
I can't do both. So it's March, right?
Is it the 8th?
First Thursday, that still works for you guys,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Steve?
be the 7th, yeah.
7th.
And March 7th.
And did we change that on the website that we're meeting on Thursdays now?
That was changed on the,
Okay, thanks.
generally the first Thursday of every month.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, appreciate you moving it from Tuesdays. That's when
Yeah.
we have the men's Bible studies.
Oh, good.
Meeting,
We have to move my PT session.
okay, and so I need a motion to adjourn.
So,
I didn't sign that one?
yeah,
I missed that one, huh?
And what time is it?
Must be at 10:27.
You gotta push the button. And so that was Rob. And Steve, you second?
Yep.